As we end the year, there are many themes which are emerging, but there is one thing which is very common across many people is stress. This year has been very stressful, with things which have been unexpected, unpredictable, facing us, forcing us to make decisions, fast decisions, and it's bound to cause stress. And I'm sure you're looking forward to putting your feet up and just relaxing and taking some time out and getting ready for the next year. But the point is that even in the next year or year after that, till the time we are living and breathing, stress is bound to happen. There will be situations which we are not prepared for, which seem life-threatening, which seem business-threatening. And therefore the question really is that what can you do to manage this stress? What can you do to be in the state of well-being and balance so you can live life and you can enjoy life in a much better way? Hi, this is Shweta here, and today I'm going to talk to you about 2 simple techniques which can help you with the state of well-being and manage your stress better. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit more about what is stress, why does it happen, and what does it do to our body, so you know why those techniques are actually going to be effective. So going back to the fundamentals, okay? The first thing that you need to understand is that your brain is not designed to make you successful. It's not designed to make you richer or happy. It's designed to protect you. It's to ensure that you're safe and you're protected. So let's go back 5,000 years and have a scenario where you're in your cave and you go out and you see this bear and about to attack you. The brain will react in 3 possible ways: fight, flight, or freeze. You know that, right? Now it's also going to get your body ready for that state. So let's understand what's really happening, because 5,000 year back situation and what's happening today, it's not very different. There's no bear attacking, but there are other things which are happening in your life, in your business, which are perceived by your brain as that threat to your life, and therefore it responds in a very similar fashion and gets your body prepared again in a similar fashion. So let's understand what's happening as soon as brain perceives a threat to you, okay? So the blood starts moving from your stomach to your shoulders because it wants to get it ready to fight, and it starts moving to thighs because you might potentially want to flight as well, run, okay? So that's the first thing that's happening. Now, as that happens, you need to also understand that there are certain chemicals which are getting produced. Now, there are 2 main chemicals I'll talk about. One is adrenaline. Now, adrenaline, as you know, it's all about giving energy to your body. So it's again getting ready for the action. The second one is cortisol. And cortisol is again preparing your body by thickening your blood and making it stickier. Okay, now you can imagine why that would be happening, because just in case the bear decides to swipe at you and the blood starts coming out, it wants to reduce the outflow of blood. Very clever. Okay, but now there is no strike or attack happening at a physical level, but the cortisol is still being produced and your blood is getting thick and sticky. So blood is flowing to the shoulders, to the thighs. So now think about it. What's happening here, right? The thick blood is forming, cortisol is forming, and you feel pain in your shoulders. You know, there's restriction in your movement. You keep doing this, you feel pain in your neck. And those are clear signs that your body is under stress and cortisol is being produced at a good rapid rate, because the brain is preparing your body to fight or flight or just freeze and shock. Okay, mostly fight or flight. So that's one thing. The other thing is that as the blood flows out to other parts of the body, actually the digestion get impacted. Your bowel movements get impacted, which impacts many other things, right? The whole physiology gets under pressure. So that's why the health problems start arising. Now, along with this, there's something else that's happening to the brain, and this is quite fascinating, which I recently learned, that when the brain is seeing the stress or the threat, the IQ drops by 20 points. And that's substantial. So basically, stress makes you stupid. And if we take a standardized IQ of 100, which is the average IQ, which is 100, 20-point drop is basically 80, which is classified as, having proper disability of learning, prolonged disability of learning. So I just want you to mull over this for a few seconds, that if you're literally classified in that section of learning disability, what is your state and how capable you are in that state to make those critical decisions for your business. And not just that, the brain stops thinking in gray forms or probabilities. It goes black or white. Because in that moment of threat, brain is not going to think and reflect or introspect. It needs to react. It needs to take action. So there's no empathy. There is no probability. It's just black and white. Now, when you think about what's happening at a physiological level, what's happening at IQ level, and how the brain is thinking in very black and white terms, what's the impact that it's having on your life decisions and business decisions? And another important thing here, which I will share with you, which is what will take us to our 2 techniques, is that when the body is under stress, you are in your survival mode, right? You want to react. Your prefrontal cortex is not being utilized properly. You're either in fight, flight, or freeze mode. And then there is another side to the continuum. It's a continuum. It's not either or. It's a continuum, right? So one is survival and the other side is your competency mode. Competency mode is where prefrontal cortex is working. You are relaxed. You are introspective. You're reflective. You're thinking. You're evaluating. You're understanding what might happen, consequences. All that bit is happening in competency mode. Now, the first thing is, therefore, that as you become aware of these symptoms in your body, you can identify where are you edging towards. Are you in survival mode or competency mode? And as soon as you assess that, okay, I am edging towards my survival mode, means my body is under stress, all these things are happening, what can I do about it? So here we talk about 2 things. Now, one thing you cannot do just in that moment most of the times because there is a structure and routine to it, but the other one you can do anytime. So the first one is the exercise bit. I'm sure you've heard of it, right? The importance of exercise, well-being, and it releases such good hormones. You feel in such a good state. But actually, let's link it back to what I've just talked about. Remember cortisol forming, your blood thickening, and your blood flowing here to thighs, shoulders, everywhere? Body wants some action. It wants a release. It wants to let out. Now, if you just keep sitting and not do much in front of your computer, it's just piling up. And that's what gives you this whole burden-bearing shoulders and, blocked shoulders as well. But if you do intensive, just 20-minute exercise, not hours, just 20-minute intensive exercise, cross-training ideally, that actually helps the release of these chemicals, and the body gets the message, action has been taken, the release has happened, and now I'm in a good state, okay? So that's the importance of exercise and why. And the period, 20 minutes, that's it. I'm sure in your day, 20-minute exercise is doable, however busy you are, but it's about knowing that I'm releasing the built-up cortisol. That's what I'm doing. It's a release that's happening, okay? Now, the second thing, which actually one can do at any time, and remember one thing, that look, we work with business owners and business leaders and executives, and they're all high-performing people. They are taking decisions, they're growing their entities, and when that happens, the stress is bound to happen, as I said. And therefore, what we constantly do is saying, how do we improve your decision making? How do we make you more aware of your states and give you techniques which you can do anytime, because that's what gives you an edge over yourself. You know how to manage your state and be in the best form to take those decisions. So this is something that we have learned from the experts. This is like academic professor who's studying stress and the science behind it has actually shared this with our community. And this is what I'm sharing with you. So hopefully it can benefit you as well. Now, the second technique is very simple, okay? It's called 7-11. And what that simply means is 7 seconds, count of 7 seconds, there is an intake of breath, okay? Slow intake of breath to the count of 7. And then there is this outtake of breath or the exhalation, and this is 11 seconds long. And when you do it, it's done through the mouth, the exhale. The inhale is through the nostril. Now, what's the logic behind it, right? Because I like to think like that, saying, what's the connection here? So think about it. When there is stress and the brain is perceiving threat, the body wants oxygen, right? Because metabolism wants to run. So when that's happening, the brain is like, yeah, there is threat. But if you're inhaling in a nice, slow manner, like nice, deep inhalation of breath, brain is like, okay, so threat is gone. And there is this nice, slow exhaling, 11 seconds through your mouth. It's relaxing the body. It's telling them it's okay. Don't produce those chemicals. Don't rush the blood to other parts of the body. It's okay. So it's literally like, as I do it, I can already feel my shoulders just relaxing. 3 times, 7, 11, 18, 18 times 3, 54. It's under a minute exercise, but it straight away starts moving you towards the continuum of competency mode. And look, knowing something and not doing it is the same as not knowing. I'm sharing with you a very simple technique which can keep you in that part of continuum where you can be competent, you can be in the state of well-being, state of balance, and your body is doing well, and you're enjoying what's happening around you. You're not reacting. You're choosing to respond from a place of balance. That's the word I'm talking about again and again. So make sure you practice, make sure you put up your feet as well, and take some time to relax, just to let your body heal and get ready for the next year, not to fight or flight or freeze, but just get ready so that it can be in a good state of balance, and it can take care of everything that it comes across with a sense of gratitude. Okay, so I wish you a very happy Christmas and a great year ahead. May it be very prosperous for you, and may you be healthy and safe. So take care, and I'll be in touch with you very soon. Remember, exercise and 7-Eleven to be in the state of well-being. Take care.